Good morning students, myself I am Rajshekar. I am going to teach mathematics. I am the teacher of mathematics and today let us learn about the integers, and the integers is the chapter present in the class 7. So let us revise the natural numbers and whole numbers before we enter into the chapter integers. So first in the previous class you learnt about the natural numbers, whole numbers, and let us revise about that both here. Natural numbers. So what is the use of the natural numbers in the real life? Where we use the natural numbers to count the objects. For example, let us take the benches in the classroom. If there are 5 or 10 benches, now how we can say 1 bench, 2 bench, 3 bench, 4 bench, up to so on. Now here when we say the natural numbers are called the counting numbers. The counting numbers begins from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on. And these numbers are used for counting the objects or the things and calculation purposes. Now here we denote the natural numbers with a capital N. And what is the smallest natural number is? The smallest natural number is 1, and we can't say the greatest natural number in the set of natural numbers. Next, and while we learning about the natural numbers, let us discuss the basic operations. For example, if I add 1 to any natural number, what is the result will be the natural number. For example, 1 is added to 15. The what is the result is? The result is the 16, where the 16 is a natural number. For example, one more example, 1 is added to 20. Now what is the result is 21, where the 21 is a natural number. Let us see the subtraction. Now if 1 is deducted from 10, what is the result is 9, where the 9 is also a natural number. For one more example, if 1 is deducted from 23, what is the result is 22, where 22 is also a natural number. Then what about if 1 is deducted from 1, the result is 0, but the 0 is not present in the set of natural numbers, no. So then the set of natural numbers is extended to the whole numbers. The set of natural numbers is extended to the whole numbers to introduce the number 0. Then what about the whole numbers? The collection of natural numbers and 0 together is called the whole numbers. The whole numbers is denoted by capital W and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on. Then what about the smallest whole number is? The smallest whole number is 0. Then what about the greatest whole number? Can you say the greatest whole number? No, we can't say the greatest whole number because it is 1 up to so on infinity. So let me say once again, here the natural numbers is natural numbers is also called as counting numbers, where the natural numbers we say that capital N is equal to 1, 2, 3, up to so on. And what about the whole numbers is denoted with? Whole numbers is denoted with capital W, where it begins from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on. Now coming to the integers. Now when you see about the natural numbers and whole numbers, in the natural numbers we have the positive numbers, and in the whole numbers along with the positive numbers we have the 0. Then what about the integers? How we can define the integers? Integers is the collection of whole numbers and the negative numbers together is called the integers. Now the integers are denoted with capital I or Z. Here so on, -5, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to so on. Now this new collection is called the integer. Now how we can define the integers? The collection of whole numbers and negative numbers together is called integer, and the integers are denoted by capital I or Z. Now if you observe clearly among the natural numbers, whole numbers and integers, in the integers you have the negative numbers, and where we use these integers in the real life or the negative numbers, why the negative numbers are arised, or where we are using the negative numbers in the real life. Let me give some examples where we use the integers in the real life. Example, temperature. While we are measuring the temperature, we can say that we have negative and positive. What is negative says that about the cold and positive says about the hot. And second, about profit and loss. In profit and loss, we use the integers. How we use the integers in the profit and loss? For example, let me take one example. There are the two friends. One friend is given 100 rupees to the second person. But in turn, the second person has given only the 50 rupees. Then first person have the loss of profit. He have the loss. How much loss he have? 50 rupees. But we said that loss. But here we denote with negative sign. Why the negative sign we use here? That negative sign says that he have a loss. But we don't have the 50 rupees denomination or the 50 rupees note with negative sign. So simply we say that he have a loss 50 rupees that we denote with negative sign. Where the negative sign we use in the profit and loss. What about the profit? If I invest 200 rupees. If I invest the 200 rupees, I have the profit of 100 rupees. We denote with 100 with positive profit. So here the negative and positive signs are used in the profit and loss and the temperature. And one more example, when we are digging the well, we dig the well in the deep of, for example, 10 meters. Now here above the ground level and below the ground level. Below the ground level we denote with the negative sign. Above the ground level we denote with the positive sign. One more example, we can say the sea level. Now a bird is flying above the sea level at a height of 25 meters and below the sea the fish at a deep of 2 meters. Now below, for example, it is a sea level and here it is a water and here it is fish and here the bird is flying. Then what about here? It is a sea level where we denote with the 0 meters and above the sea level the bird is flying at 25 meters and below the sea level is 2 meters. That is a fish is the deep of 2 meters. But here we denote with a positive and negative, where the positives and negatives are used here. Above the sea level with a positive sign and below the sea that is with a negative sign. So here the negative signs are used to denote the deep and where the positives are denoted to say about the height of that. Here the temperature, if I take example thermometer, where the thermometer is an instrument to measure the temperature, that is positive and negative. And one more example, let us take that temperature during the winter season. If I take in the winter season in the Telangana state, we have 25 degrees Celsius in Telangana. And if I take in Simla, around it is above 0 degrees Celsius in Telangana state the temperatures. If I take the Simla, that is 5 degrees Celsius below 0 degrees. So here when I say above 0 degrees Celsius we denote with the positive sign and below 0 degrees Celsius we denote with the negative sign. Where negative sign denotes that it is a cold in the Simla and where the positive says a little bit hot. So these are the examples where we use the integers in the real life. And in the previous class in the previous classes you learned how to represent the numbers on the number line. You learned about the natural numbers, whole numbers, how to represent on the number line. And what about the integers? Let me draw a line. Let us represent the numbers at equal distances and 0 here. On the right side of the 0 on the number line take the positive numbers. On the left side of the 0 on the number line take the negative numbers at equal distances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So here I represented some numbers on the number line, positive numbers and negative numbers and 0. This all together collection of numbers is called integers. Just now in the previous I explained. Now let us decide which is the smallest integer, greatest integer. And here where the 0 is neither negative nor positive. So what is the meaning of that? Neither negative nor positive means it is not a negative, it is not a positive. It is just neutral. And what about the smallest positive integer? The smallest positive integer is 1. which is just at the side of the 0 on the number line. And the greatest integer, can you say the greatest integer on the number line? Is it possible to say the greatest integer in the set of integers? So we can't say. The greatest integer is undefined. We can't say that. And the smallest negative integer, greatest positive integer. And what about the greatest negative integer? We can't say that, because here the positive integers up to infinite and the negative integers up to infinite. So we can't say the smallest negative integer and the greatest positive integer. Then what about the smallest positive integer is on the number line? Smallest positive integer. Smallest positive integer is, here smallest positive integer is 1. And what about the greatest negative integer is -1. So if you take according to the number line, we can say the greatest, smallest and the neutral, but according to the set of integers we can't say the greatest positive integer and the smallest positive integer. So now let us see about the operation of integers. So in this chapter we are going to learn about the introduction of integers. Already the introduction of integers has explained. Next, operation of integers. Operation of integers and properties of integers. And finally, that is representation of integers on the number line. So we have seen the introduction about the integers. Next, operation of integers. So what are the operations are there in mathematics? That is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So you learned how to apply the operations on the whole numbers, on the natural numbers. That same operations we are going to apply on the integers. How to add the integers, how to subtract the integers, how to multiply the integers and how to divide the integers. That you are going to learn in the operation of integers. And in the same way that operations you are going to perform on the number line, means how to add, subtract, multiply that integers on the number line, with a representation of the operations of the integers on the number line that you are going to learn. Next, properties of integers. What are the properties of whole numbers and natural numbers? You learn that the same properties you are going to learn in the integers. Now let us see that operations of integers, that operations how to perform by representing on the number line. Let us learn that. Okay, stop. Okay, now let us learn the properties of integers, where you learned in the previous classes about the properties of natural numbers and whole numbers. In the same way, let us learn properties of integers. So what are the properties are present in the integers? First one, closure property. Second one, commutative property. And third one, associative property. Fourth one, role of 0. Fifth one, role of 1. So first let us learn about these properties of integers under all the operation, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. First let us learn the closure property. First, closure property. So what the closure property says about? Now let us take first natural numbers. In the natural numbers you learn that if you add two natural numbers, what you get? The sum is natural number. For example, 2 is a natural number and 3 is a natural number. What is the sum of these two natural numbers is 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5, where 5 is also a natural number. Now what you can say that the natural number satisfies the closure property under addition. In the same way that properties we are going to learn, that addition, subtraction, multiplication, division that we are going to learn in the integers. Let us take here integers now. Let us take the integers. For example, a comma b are two integers. A comma b are the two integers. Now here a and b are the two integers. Let me find the sum, that is a plus b is equal to c. If a and b are the two integers and if you find the sum of the two integers, the sum what you got, that is an integer. Now let me take the example. A is equal to one integer, that is minus 3, and b is equal to minus 5. Let us add these both integers, a plus b, that is a plus b, what is a? Minus 3 plus of minus 5. Now minus 3 plus into minus, minus 5. What is the result is? Minus 8. So what you got, the sum is minus 8. So we know that minus 8 is a negative integer which is present in the set of integers. So when you find the sum of two negative integers, what is the result you got is negative integers. So now what you can say, the integer satisfies the closure property under addition. Okay. Now next let us see the subtraction. Next. Take any two more integers. Now let me take two more integers, that is a is equal to minus 7 and b is equal to 5. Now let us find the difference of these two integers and what is the result you are going to get. Let us check it. A minus b, that is equal to a is minus 7, here you have minus and the b is 5. So minus 7, minus 5 both are negative signs, so we can add the integers 7 and 5, that is 12, minus 12. So what is the result you got is minus 12, where the minus 12 is a negative integer or it is present in the set of integers, that is a minus b is equal to, what we got, the result is minus 12. Now when you find the difference of the two integers, we got an integer. Now what you can say, the closure property satisfies the integers under subtraction. Next you have multiplication. Now what about multiplication? Does multiplication is closed under integers or not? Let us check it. Take any two more integers, that is a is equal to minus 5 and b is equal to minus 13. Now let us multiply these both integers, that is a into b, where a is minus 5 into of minus 13. Minus into minus plus 5 into 13, that is 65. Now where the 65 is an integer, it is a set of integers. Now a into b is equal, what is the result you got, which is an integer. The product of two integers is also an integer. Now what you can say, that closure property satisfies the multiplication in integers. Next, finally you have the division. What about the division? Does division satisfies the closure property in set of integers? Let us check it. That is for division. A is equal to minus 7 and b is equal to minus 5. Now let us divide these both integers, that is a by b is equal to minus 7 by minus 5. Here minus get cancelled, 7 by 5. But 7 by 5 is not a integer, where it is in the form of a fraction, where the fraction is not an integer. Now what you can say, that the division of two integers may be or may not be is an integer. Now division is not satisfying the closure property in set of integers. Okay, today we learnt about that introduction and what is natural number, what is whole number, what is integer, and where we use the integers in the real life. So you try to write the definitions about what I explained in the present class, and you identify that what is the smallest whole number, what is the smallest natural number, what is the greatest negative integer, what is the smallest negative integer, and just to compare the integers and take few more examples of the integers and apply on the properties of integers. Now I explain the closure property. Take some examples and you find it whether you are getting that closure property is satisfying or not. You check it once. Thank you.